Hello everyone, Denise here. I hope you're all doing well today. Today is Monday, November 18th, 2024. So, a few things have happened since my last video. And in my last video, I made mention about, how following Christ, means taking up our cross every day and standing on the truth. Guys, now more than ever, okay, the darker it gets, the brighter our lights should shine, okay? And so so a couple days ago on Saturday, November 16th, Target had fired me, okay? Now, for several months, I had been wearing my red t-shirts that I ordered myself, my Christian red t-shirts, okay? I didn't wear the he, she, they, whatever t-shirts that Target supplied. I wore my own and never had any problem the whole entire time that I worked there. Okay, so that was my second job as a cashier, was at Target. And so anyway, this past Saturday, I was wearing a long sleeved red sweatshirt and jeans, just like the mannequin they have back in the back room next to the time clock, how we're supposed to dress. I was dressed like that. But I also had, and this name tag, okay, right here. I put Trust in Jesus on my name tag. And a lot of and it wasn't just Saturday, it was because I took a couple month break from Target, and then I just went back and started on Halloween there, and I've been wearing that name tag ever since, and no problems whatsoever, anything. And so Saturday, before anything happened, this one guy came through my check lane, and I don't know what his position is. I know he's part of the LGBTQ group. And he came through my check lane, and I'm sure he saw my name tag, okay? And this kind of hit me later, when things started unfolding towards later in the day. So it was time for me to take my lunch break, so I went and took my lunch break. And on my way to go clock out for lunch, because I did notice that, because my son started back there too, because the job that he got at the other place, when he because he had been at Target for about 2.5 years, and then he found himself another job with better pay and all that, and it was going great for him. But then they started, on the third week, they put him in the freezer, which is way below zero, and they put him there like for the whole entire shift. And after a week of that, he got, almost deathly sick, even though he was in full uniform and all that. And they just kept keeping him there. And even a couple of times, he told me he was in that big room alone. And so I said, just go back to Target, son, yeah, don't take the risk. And so he quit that job, and for that reason, and started back at Target last night. But then their computers weren't working when I dropped him off. I guess they wouldn't let him in the system. So within a half hour, he called me to come pick him up. Okay, so keep that in mind as I explain what happened with me. So anyway, I'm on, but I did notice that my son and mine's, because my boss knew that he had to kind of be on my nighttime hours there at Target because of the one car deal, and she said she'd work with his boss to make the schedule work out, and I did notice the week after this week that our schedules started overlapping, where I would start sooner than him, and that just wouldn't work. So on my way to go clock out for lunch on Saturday, I asked one of my coworkers there if my boss was there, because I needed to speak with her, and that's what I needed to speak with her about. And she said, no, she's not here today. And then I said, okay. And then she said, Denise. And I said, yes. And then she just kind of looked at me and stalled a moment. And then she said, you're not allowed to wear that on your name tag. You're not allowed to have this on your name tag. You need to take it off. And I said, I will not take it off. I said, I said, really, I see people with rainbows on their name tags. And I said, I will not take it off. And then I walked off and proceeded to go clock out for lunch. And she said, kind of hollered, I'll let HR know. Fine, you know. In my last video, I said we're going to have to take stands like this, even if it means losing our jobs. Okay, now this very thing did end up happening. Let me explain. And so I clocked out for lunch, you know, had my half-hour lunch, came back in, clocked back in, went back to my check lane, and resumed my work day. And then, not not much longer after that, maybe within a half hour, a coworker came up and said, Denise, I'm here to relieve you. And I'm like, well, I just got back from lunch. Is it break time already? And she said, no, HR wants to see you. So I said, oh, okay, they do, right? So I went to the HR office, and whoever wanted to see me was not there. And so I guess I was supposed to go in a different back room, but they said they'll come there, and we'll go in the other back room that by where I was. And so I waited there about 5-10 minutes, and that man that went through my check lane, that's part of that community, that's kind of their boss, in charge there at Target, he was just sitting there right in front of me, along with the HR lady. And so it was just kind of silent, you know, and until the women came. And so the two women came and took me into the room. We sat down. And they said, you can't wear that here at Target. You're in violation of dress code. And I said, how? I'm wearing a long sleeve red sweatshirt and jeans, you know, and they said, it's what you have written on your name tag. You can't do that. And they said, because the other girl had told them what I had mentioned about the rainbow on name tags. Oh yeah, it wasn't them. I'll get to that part, guys. And so I said, well, and they were basically telling me I can't work there anymore at that point. And then I said, well, can I get it in writing? You know, I mean, I think legally I need in writing as to why you're firing me. And they just said, in violation of dress code. And I just said, how? You know, can you be more specific on how I'm in violation of dress code? And they said, just a moment. Went and got that man that's their boss, okay? And I do need to make mention, the lady that was, the woman that was doing all the talking here, the other woman was silent the whole time. She just kind of sat there and observed. And but the woman that was doing all the talking, you know, not too long ago on a work day, I went and asked her a question. She said, I'm not your team lead, you know, like, don't ask me. And so she never really liked me anyway, and I would get the evil eye wearing my Christian shirts. Even one day she tried pushing a Target shirt on me, like I would go change, and I did not. And, you know, I still worked. Like I said, I never have had a problem all this entire time, guys. So, anyway, that, you know, I feel like she wanted to be the one firing me, and that man gave her permission to do that. So that's, you know, kind of how I see it, because of how everything happened here. And so then that man, you know, because he was just going to let them handle it. Okay, he walked through my check lane, thought, no, 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 she can't wear that. But he came in, and he said the reason that people can wear rainbows on their tags is because Target is known for their I always forget the word, for being exclusive, or whatever the term is, okay? I even forgot to mention that on my news interview today with the Whistleblowers Valley News. Okay, I'll get to that, but yeah, this is going to be on the news. But I just want to let my viewers know what happened. And so, anyway, that does not, you know, mean just because Target is exclusive and they can express their beliefs that, you know, my religious freedom is lost. No, you know, that doesn't mean that. You know, even though in their training classes, they'll, you know, the online training we have to go take every now and then in the back room, and it gets to the religious part about accepting Muslims, about accepting a Buddha, people that believe in Buddha, and being respectful towards everyone, but there's just one they leave out, and that is Christianity, Jesus Christ, so, but nevertheless, we're called to be kind to everyone as a Christian, and that is their choice, okay? And I've made mine, and that is where I stand. And so, anyway, I mentioned to him, and he's supposed to be one of the top dogs there, all right? And he said that, I asked him, I said, well, I just simply need it in writing. And then that's when that woman spoke up again, the one that was talking. She said, we're not firing you. We're just sending you home. Now they're just going to send me home for the day. And I said, and then what about tomorrow? Do I come back? She said, yeah, you can come back. And I said, well, I'll still be wearing this. And she said, well, then we'll have the same conversation. And I just thought that was kind of tricky and very cowardly on Target's part, how they did not want to put it in writing, and it took 3 of them to tell me this, to take me in a back room, a senior citizen, a hard worker. Many customers, I told them, came through my line and said, we really appreciate you wearing that, and that man, said, well, I'm glad you got good feedback, but that doesn't work here at Target. And so, anyway, that's basically what happened. And then it kept going back and forth, and me sensing that they were getting ready to get security just to remove me, which I'm friends with the security team there. A couple of the ladies there on the security team, we kind of friends at work, I get along with them and respect them, and they've been always respectful towards me. I mean, most of the people there have. That Target was one of my fun jobs, believe it or not. I enjoyed the customers and being a checker, and got along with everybody. I wasn't doing anything or causing any havoc the whole time I was there. This is what got me fired right here, okay? A guy from the group went through my line. One of the lead guys said, nope, that cannot be. Okay, after all this time, ironically enough. So, the guy left the room, and for about 10-15 minutes, and those 2 women were there, and I was there, and it was just complete dead silence the whole time. The entire time, until that man finally came back, and all he came back with was this. And he gave me this, doesn't even say that I'm fired. It just says, he just said, there's numbers here. If you have questions about being in violation of dress code, just call them. And I said, well, which one's the corporate number? And he's like looking and looking. I said, never mind. I'll look it up myself, if I need to. And I got up and walked out gracefully. So that is what happened on Saturday, guys. I refused to take off that name tag. I said, I'm just going to wear it again. And that's when they said, well, then you just can't come back here. Okay, and then again, last night, my son, he's going back to work, and the computer would not let him in. Okay, it could be a glitch in their system. They do get that a lot at Target. But now he's not even on tonight's schedule, and originally he was when I was looking at his schedule, and I saw how the next week conflicted because he had 2 weeks of a schedule, I just, there is a reason for everything, and where do I go from here? Well, I've been through a lot worse, okay, and I survived, and I know I'm not alone, guys, and you're not alone either. If you're going through struggles and things right now, the closer we get to the catching up of the church, the darker it's going to get. And the warfare is going to be off the charts. But we must remember, greater is he that is in us than he that is in this world, guys. Another thing I want to mention, some of you may already know this, but not too long ago there was a contest on Facebook, Fab Over 40, okay? I figured I'd enter, it doesn't cost anything to enter. So I entered it, and I quickly found out it's more of a popularity contest. They do raise money for cancer, research, breast cancer, I think. And so that's a good cause, I suppose, even though I believe they already have these cures. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So I entered it. The top prize would have been $40,000, and I figured, well, if this happens, if I should happen to win it, then You know, I could promote my book when Grace appeared, and maybe from there, you know, get it on the big screen, you know. But then these women, would middle-aged women as myself, would send these videos that, you know, we had to watch and give likes and put comments in because you get more points for that or whatever. And I watched one or two of them, and it was just like, I don't mean to be rude, but it was just like, gosh, they're a bunch of airheads, you know. And then they had women that won the contest before in there, and they're still doing this, even though this isn't their year. You know, it's like they're not done. They got to keep going back with this. And it's like, I can't do this. And I just felt like I wasn't going to win, and I didn't. And I just couldn't watch the videos anymore. I really didn't care. And I felt at that time God saying, this isn't it. You know, this is not what I have planned for you. And so who knows what he has planned for me. But I am going to, I don't know if it's going to show up today or whatever. The newscaster guy said that I did very well. I think my experience having a YouTube channel helped. I was not nervous at all. And I did say everything I needed to say during the interview today. And I really do hope it goes nationwide. You know, it's not about, um, getting anything, or it's about, taking a stand and people trusting in Jesus and getting the truth out there. That is why we're here. And I just thank God for giving me this opportunity to glorify his name as far as the east is from the west, north and south, maybe the whole world. And that is what I'm hoping will come out of this. You know, I'm not going down without a fight. And I know my God is undefeated, and greater again is he that's in us than he that is in this world, guys. So I just wanted to share that losing a job did happen to me. You know, I still have my first job. I'll survive. I've been through worse. I'm still going to make the bills, just going to keep moving forward with this, and I'm going to keep taking this stand, and the gates of hell will not prevail against the church. God bless everyone, and have a good day.